welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Annabelle. I'm a small business owner of Belhaven Co. and I am an embroidery business. And today we're going to go over how you can start your own embroidery business in 2025. The first thing you're going to need to do is probably a lot of research, but also you're gonna have to buy an embroidery machine. I personally started out with a single needle embroidery machine, and that's what I would recommend. They are quite affordable, easy to learn, perfect for beginners, and you can usually find them secondhand if you are in a tighter budget. When choosing a machine, you're gonna wanna try to find one that has the biggest sewing field that you possibly can embroider with. So for instance, I started out with an SE 1900, and the biggest sewing field that it could embroider was 5x7. Some of them only are like 4x4, and that really doesn't give you a lot of versatility on what you can embroider. You can only embroider like this big of an area, and you kind of want to try to get your money's worth and do as big of an area as you possibly can. So some of my recommended machines would be a Brother SE 1900, a Brother PE 800, and the new Brother PE 900, which I have not used, but I think it's just an upgrade of the PE 800, which I had, and I actually just sold 2 of them yesterday. The next thing you're going to want to think about is where are you getting your apparel? If you are going to be doing an embroidery business where you're embroidering on apparel, something like this, you're going to need to know where you're going to get these shirts from. So wholesalers offer bulk pricing, allowing you to keep the cost down, so when you sell them, you make a pretty good profit on them. When I first started out, I was using Jiffy shirts, which I think you can actually get free shipping on orders over $75, but don't quote me on that. I think that's what it is though. I use One Stop, and One Stop is actually based in Grand Rapids, so it's pretty close to where I'm located, but you do have to place an order over, I want to say $175 to get free shipping. But other than that, I really love One Stop, and they have so many different options to choose from for apparel. Another good one I've heard about is bulkapparel.com. I haven't ordered from there, but I know a lot of people do use that one. The last one I've heard of is SNS Activewear, which I'm pretty sure I do have an account with them. I just don't think I've ever ordered from them just because One Stop is so convenient for me. Definitely look into what works best for you, not necessarily what works best for me, because it's gonna be different for every business depending where you are, depending on your budget, etc., etc. So definitely just do your research to find the perfect wholesaler for your business. And lastly, when it comes to wholesaling, you will need to have a business license and a tax ID number when you do go to order from these websites, because they are wholesalers, so they don't want just random people buying apparel from them at a lower cost. They want to make sure that you're using it to make a profit and not just buying stuff for yourself. So you do need a business license and a tax ID. I think that's all you need. When it comes to registering your business, I'm not sure how it is for every single state. I know when I registered my business, I went to Michigan Treasury or like michigan.gov or something. So that's where I got my business license through. And then that will give you a tax ID. Definitely just Google for your state where you can get your business license and tax ID number, because every state is different, I believe. So also when it comes to embroidery, it's not just a machine and a piece of apparel. You need all these different accessories and supplies. So here's a little list of everything that you will need. You're gonna need embroidery thread, stabilizer, scissors, bobbin thread, and needles. I personally bought all of my stuff from Amazon, and I'll have everything linked in my Amazon storefront. You can go there and find all the things that I use to start my embroidery business, but you will need different materials for your projects, so definitely make sure you Google all that. The next thing is you're gonna want to get embroidery software, unless you plan on just buying designs from Etsy or a digitizer. Embroidery softwares help you create your own designs, which is also a learning process, so you will again have to YouTube and Google how to digitize. That's a whole different ball game in my opinion. I'm still not perfect at it. I will still buy files from Etsy and from digitizers, especially when it comes to custom like logos and other custom designs. I will just send the logo to a digitizer, pay $20 to $50 for that logo, and they will do all the digitizing for me, and I can just stitch it right on my machine. But you have to have a stitch file for any design. So if I wanted to embroider my logo, I couldn't just take this PNG file or digital file and send it to my machine. I would need to get this digitized to be a stitch file so that the machines can read the stitches and know exactly what to do. So that has to be done like stitch by stitch, and I don't want to be the one to do it. So I send that off and let somebody else take care of that, and I will just pay them because it is a job, let me tell you, and I would much rather pay someone else to do it. But for simple designs, like I just want to type out a name or do a cute little shape, or I do want to like customize some of the designs that I get from Etsy, I do have a software called Embroidery, and I believe you can just go to embroidery.com and they have a bunch of different levels. I believe I have the most simple one. I probably still don't understand all the little details within that whole software. Another one is Hatch, which I haven't used, but I believe it is just as good as Embroidery. I do know those are like the top two, Embroidery and Hatch. So definitely just go to embroidery.com or hatch.com and you can find what digitizing software you want to get. These do cost money, so just beware that you will need to factor that into your budget when you are planning on starting your embroidery business. Next, we have to decide where we're selling our products. So are you going to sell them on a website, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok shop, Etsy, craft shows, etc.? Each platform is pretty different. Just depends on what you feel is best for your business. I personally started on Facebook and Instagram. I would just make something and I would post it to Facebook and Instagram. In the caption, I would put how much it is. And these are pretty much just local people buying, obviously. If someone not local needed it to be shipped, you would have to figure out the shipping cost. But when I did that, I pretty much was only selling like little things. When I started my business, it would be like little resin things or jewelry and stuff like that. But when I started getting more into apparel, that's when I made my own website on Shopify, which I believe starts out at $30 a month. With your own website, you have to drive your own sales to your website because nobody's just checking Belhaven Co. every single day. You have to post. And I'm not the best at this. I need to be better. So I'm trying right here. We're doing YouTube, okay? People aren't just gonna go to your website just to go to your website unless they maybe know you or something. People aren't gonna find your website unless you're promoting it. So that's just one thing. Nobody's driving sales to your website. You have to do it on your own. Keep that in mind. Another place a lot of people use is Etsy. I personally never used Etsy. When I was starting my business, I just did a lot of research on whether I wanted to make my own website or do Etsy. And I found that a lot of people said to just get your own website because Etsy has a lot of fees and it's very saturated. So if you want to do embroidered apparel, there's probably a million other people doing the exact same thing. And that's completely fine, but you're not really going to stand out unless you have something super unique, something somebody's never seen before. So it's super competitive, but the only thing I would say that maybe is a pro of Etsy is you don't really have to do a lot of marketing for yourself. Etsy kind of throws you out there. As soon as somebody searches embroidered apparel, you're going to show up on their feed of embroidered apparel. But that does not mean they're going to choose you because there's about 100 million other people doing embroidered apparel. So also keep that in mind. The next thing is craft shows, and I do have a website, but I also go to craft shows because craft shows are so good to allow people to see your business in person. They're going to see your products in person. They're already there to shop, so more than likely, if they're looking for something that you have, they're probably going to buy it because that's what they're there for. Not only do they get to see your stuff in person, but you get to make connections with people in person, and that really just helps your business grow. Usually craft shows do cost some money to have your setup there. More than likely you're gonna make your money back, especially with apparel. Another thing is wholesale. So wholesale would be you are the seller now for other people to sell your clothing that you made. So just like the wholesalers that are selling you blank shirts, you're now selling shirts that are already pre-made. You're just gonna bump that price up a little bit for these other retailers, and then they're going to sell them at their price in their stores. This isn't something I've personally done yet. Hopefully I can get into that this year. That is one of my goals, is to get into wholesale. Another thing, I've pretty much gone over this a couple times, but you need to utilize your social media. Like I said, people aren't gonna just know you. People aren't gonna just find you. You have to promote yourself. Social media like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, that's free advertising for yourself. And I know I am not the best at this. Like I said earlier, I could be doing a lot better. I tell you, the more you post, the more it gets pushed out, the more people follow you, the more people see what you have to offer, and they are more likely going to buy your products just because they've seen you so many times over somebody that doesn't post that often. And right now I am that person. Make your content and just post it. I need to listen to my own advice. So if you do plan on shipping your products out to customers or businesses, boutiques, whatever it may be, you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna do that. And it's kind of pricey going to the UPS store or the USPS store. So I love that Shopify gives you a shipping discount. So when somebody orders off my website, we are getting the cheapest shipping price possible. But then you're also gonna need shipping supplies. So you're gonna need boxes, polymailers. Polymailers are perfect for apparel. So I'll show you the ones that I have. So we've got some polymailers here. This one is a 10 by 12 polymailer. This fits one embroidered crew neck. This really helps save on cost because you're not shipping a whole box. So I definitely love these. And so this one fits like 2 to 3 embroidered crew necks, depending on size. So this larger one is from Graceful Mailers, and I will tag her down below and link her shop so you can get some of your own little polymailers. My other favorite place to get my polymailers from is Shipping Hip. The reason why I really love small businesses is because they're very good quality. I've tried using the Amazon ones. Do not recommend. I won't even link those because they kind of suck. They are so thick and durable, and I just love these so much. So many different cute patterns. I use those all the time. And then for boxes, if you do need boxes, I do buy my boxes on Amazon, but I know you can also go to like Uline. They also have bulk shipping prices and stuff. But basically, just research what works for your business. Again, I'm not saying this is exactly what you need to do. I'm just giving you some options and ideas, and this is what worked for me. Lastly, for shipping, you're gonna need a thermal printer, which is what I have here. I don't know if you can see. This is my thermal printer. Oh, that is the Munbin brand. I got it from Amazon like 3 years ago maybe. It hooks right into my computer, and then through Shopify, you just send it to your thermal printer and it prints off a cute little label. So the cute little labels are like this size, and you just stick it right onto your polymailer. No going to the UPS store, no going to the USPS store. Everything is just here and ready to go. I will have that linked. I know that there is one that connects to Bluetooth now, and if I had to get another one, I would probably get the Bluetooth one. Rollo is also another really good thermal printer, but I know it's a little pricey, but I'll still have it linked just in case. But basically, I'm stuck with this one until it dies because it's doing its job, and that's all I could ask for. If you are for sure going to be starting an embroidery business or any business at all, you're gonna want to make a business bank account. The reason for this is because you're gonna want to separate your personal money from your business money. When it comes to tax season, you're gonna be pretty lost, and so is your accountant or CPA or whoever's doing your taxes, because there's no way to separate things. It helps you keep track of your finances, how much money you've made, how much money you have left, just all the things. So I highly recommend getting your own business bank account. When it comes to taxes, I'm not the girl to talk to. As my business grew, we ended up getting a CPA because even my accountant husband was like, this is just too much. So we do have a CPA now. Make sure you are filing taxes for your business because you don't want to get in trouble. And I don't want you to get in trouble. That's pretty much all I have to say on that. Taxes scares me, and so I'd rather just skip right over that. Do your research on that. My last tip for you is to just keep learning and keep practicing. This will be my 3rd year doing embroidery. I still don't know everything, and I probably never will know everything. I get a lot of my tips from YouTube. One of my favorite embroidery YouTubers is Angelina Jasmina, and I'll have her tagged too so you can go follow her. She has lots of good tips on embroidery, and we actually have the same machines. She's the one that inspired me to get the Malcos, and I love them. Definitely just go follow some embroidery businesses, get some inspo from them, and get some tips and tricks on how to do all the things and how they do stuff. If you're gonna get into digitizing, go follow some digitizers. Definitely start YouTubing that because that is a whole different ballgame, like I said. Essentially, the more that you do it, the better you're gonna get at it. You're gonna keep learning and keep growing, and eventually you're gonna have a successful embroidery business. I hope this video was very helpful, and I can't wait to see you guys start up your embroidery business. If you already have an embroidery business or any business, tag yourself below. I want to go see what you guys have. I want to support you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what other kind of content you guys want to see, whether that's more tips and tricks, vlogs, how-tos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.